Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back to another video. And what a month it's been. It has been just a tornado in my household, tornado in my life, and between, house hunting and car shuffling and trying to keep videos going and, you name it. And certainly the rest of the universe doesn't slow down. It's interesting that the more busy you get, it seems like the more the world throws at you. And I'll tell you, it makes you a better person. It makes you stronger. And having been an air traffic controller for 4 years in the Air Force, which meant we worked with all the civilian airports around us and pushed a lot of tin, I can handle a lot of stress. I can deal with a lot of pressure. And this is, while it appears on, how about this? While it appears on Instagram that everything's just awesome, I can tell you it's a lot. We are juggling knives, everybody. But I want to give you an update today. An update today on the channel, update today on our life. And if you're new to the channel, you may not even care about any of this because you came here just to watch car content and move to the next video, which is totally cool. And just know, I understand. Like, you don't need to waste your time watching this video. But if you've been following the channel for a while, then most certainly you may be interested in kind of what's taking place and where I'm headed with this whole thing. So it's been about 6 years since I shot my first video with my RT, my beautiful white Dodge Challenger RT that I bought on an impulse and a whim, and then 3 months later traded in on my Scat Pack. And then I drove that Scat Pack for probably a year, and it was beautiful, it was fun, it was awesome. And then I stepped up to the Red Eye. I went to the moon, and that Red Eye took my channel to the stratosphere. I mean, I was running at 9,000 subscribers before that thing came to the family, and shortly after I bought that thing, within a couple of months, we were cruising past 35,000 subscribers. It was like instantaneous. That Red Eye completely changed the channel. And my commitment to filming increased. My commitment to providing content increased. And the content that I created, as many of you remember, was a lot of just little simple cosmetic mods. The Stereo System series, which was hilarious because that cost me probably $2,000 to shoot, to make like $300 or $400. But I still look back on those videos as some of the greatest videos, between me getting heat stroke in the driveway trying to install the speakers, and my wife coming out and telling me I need to come inside before I freaking die, the camera overheating and having to stick it in the freezer to cool it off, to come back out and film another 15-20 minutes before it died again. I mean, this is some great memories over the last 6 years. And then COVID came, and we pushed through. We pushed through with filming in my driveway, didn't take the Red Eye out very much, and then ultimately ended up selling the Red Eye. And I still look back that was probably not a good decision. But I didn't know what the market was going to do. What I did know is that I was getting offered a little bit more than what I paid for that thing. And in my lifetime, other than my 64 Cadillac, that's the only one, have I ever bought a car and then that car not depreciated so much that I found myself buried in it and upside down, despite any down payments I put down, and could never outrun the depreciation in the marketplace. And having been burned many, many times, I took the risk. I rolled the dice, sold that car. And today that car is probably still worth $75,000, $80,000. So I probably didn't lose a whole bunch of money. So while it didn't go up in value, and likely will go down in value this next few years as this market shifts, I have to look back and go, you know what? I rolled the dice, I made the decision, and I came out really good on that car. But it was the car that changed the channel. And I filmed once a week, every single week. And all that did is keep my channel going. It kept the revenue right around that $1,000 to $1,500 a month, and a great month would be $2,000. And then minimal sponsorships here and there with dash cams and little things, which were always cool. The Ridge wallet was awesome. And we pushed through with just good, wholesome content. And then COVID came, and things got stupid. Things got ridiculously stupid, sold the red eye, and over the next year, the market went berserk. And dealers that were otherwise striving to at least appear reputable decided that reputation didn't matter. They decided that customers don't matter, that making money today is way better than focusing on making money later with repeat business. These dealers, so many of them, had conscious, overwhelming greed and decisions that in any other industry, in any other planet in the universe, would be considered to be so incredibly shady, downright wrong, borderline illegal, but they did it anyways. And they did it justifying it all with market conditions, supply and demand. Didn't matter if they lied, didn't matter what they said, it didn't matter who they said it to, it didn't matter who they rolled out of the dealership, whether it was a disabled veteran or a senior citizen or some kid just fresh out of college with his first job and a little bit of paycheck protection money and stimulus money, and boom, they nailed them to the wall. Didn't care, knowing that this is unsustainable. The general managers, the leaders of these dealerships were telling young salesmen that, and I know because I've talked to many of them in their 20s, that these cars in sales meetings, that these cars are going to go up in value. They're the last time anybody's going to get them. You need to tell your customers, act now or they're never going to get them. Then Tim gets on and says, for the last call, that, you better get them now because they're going to be gone forever. And rather than people just say, well, yeah, that's okay, that's true. So, I want to get my car. The dealer said, well, that means we can charge $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 more for a Dodge. And the manufacturer decided, well, we're just going to roll with this whole inflation thing and keep raising prices at the manufacturer level and squeezing margins with our dealers, which encourages and drives horrible behavior. And that led me to start filming tons of content that you all appear to have loved based on the views and overall just revenue of the channel over this last few years. And this last year, I tripled down and I went hard. And I went hard after these dealers to try to expose this stuff. And I got decent views, but I'm not a big channel. So 5, 6, 7, 10,000 views. Once in a while, I get a big one that runs for 30, 40, 50,000 views or 100,000 views. But for the most part, 5 to 10,000 views. That means I'm only hitting 5 to 10,000 people in America that I'm saving from making bad decisions. So the rest of the thousands and thousands of people out there are not. And some people who, frankly, were sold on the story from the salesman more than they were sold on my story got wildly burned. And now that's coming to fruition. This morning I wake up, I've already got a message from somebody who's buried in their car and worried about getting repoed in their Mopar. It's horrible. It's sad because it's going to affect them for the next 7 years on their credit if that were to happen. And Lord knows, had I got to them earlier, they wouldn't have made that decision. Now you've got what is beautiful, so many other YouTubers that are getting into this because the 170 has illuminated the bad behavior, illuminated the horrible strategies that these dealers have done, to the extent that some of my videos recently just talking about this stuff have gone big, and I'm averaging 10, 15,000 views per video. So that's been great. Which leads me to the content that I actually love to do is content that does bring value to you all, that does provide an opportunity for you all to learn from my mistakes, from my experience, from challenges I've had to go through in my life. I love doing that kind of content. That's kind of what, when I started this channel out, and why it's called OC Motivator, is to push you all forward and challenge you to make better decisions, challenge you to listen really closely to the words that I'm saying so that you don't end up going through what I went through in 2007 and 8, basically losing everything. And when I say everything, I mean short of them coming and confiscating my socks, pretty much lost it all, while still preserving my marriage, preserving my family, raising our daughter to become an extremely functional and just amazing, beautiful human being, putting family first, putting integrity first, putting ethics first, telling the truth, being transparent. But what I found, and this is not me whining and complaining, even though someone's going to say this in the comments, what I found is that transparency isn't always rewarded. I try to be honest and share my personal life, my personal finances, as much as I can share without compromising myself, only to have people being extremely nasty and judgmental in the comments. And everybody's a genius in the comments, yet none of them will pick up a camera or their phone and shoot a single video to share, if they have all the answers, to share their experience. Instead, they just run around bashing everyone else's experience and attempts to help other people. People assume that I'm broke and I don't have money and I'm overextended in my life, and these are just things that are just stupid. At 53 years old, if I wasn't on YouTube, not a single person in my life who knows me would say a single one of those things. They know how much I make. They know how long I've made it for. They know how hard I've worked to get where I'm at. There would be no question about anything I do. Yet here on YouTube, I'm questioned and maligned, and I've gotten nasty messages in my direct messages. I've gotten the filters cranked down so high on YouTube to filter out the incredible vulgarities, and it's weighed on me. It's weighed on me. It weighs on every YouTuber friend that I have, that when you try to be that great YouTuber and jump in the comments and actually like interact with your viewers and just be there with them rather than just pump content out, make money and move on, I want to actually get involved with you all in chat. The negative people, the naysayers, the trash talkers get in your head. I can have 100 comments, 10 nasty comments, and those 10 nasty comments rise to the top and irritate the living crap out of you. And every single YouTuber says that. So you know what they tell me? Brad, don't read the comments. It's not worth it. But you know what? I can't help it. And yes, my wife has said, look, we can be sitting here having a great day, sitting here just watching a movie, everything's cool, and you'll look at your phone, and the next thing you know, you're typing away, because I feel like I need to justify something to somebody I've never met and never will meet. My point of this is that YouTube has been an amazing journey. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a great experience for me to share with people, but it's gotten to the place to where the bigger the channel gets, the more crap you put up with, the more weirdness you introduce into your life. Meaning, my daughter's come in the house before and said, Daddy, there's somebody weird driven by our house 3 times, staring at our house. I'm a tiny YouTuber. I can't imagine what some of these big YouTubers go through. But the assumption is that it's somebody from YouTube and found our house and driven by it. We've had some weird things happen recently that have made us not want to stay where we're at because of some of the weirdness. Now, do I think it's car dealers that are driving up and down our street, stalking, looking weird at us, spitting on our cars, doing things like that? No, I don't know. I don't know who it could be. But I've clearly pissed off a bunch of people this last few years, and probably a lot in this last year. And I'm not going to put my family at risk any longer to deal with this stuff. Getting the 170, does that significantly increase the chances that somebody's going to try to break into my garage and steal that car? Absolutely. Absolutely. And when I see tons of comments about, you better get a security system on that thing, boy, you better lock that thing up, boy, you better not leave it out in the street, you better not do this, better not do that. And then I see cars parked on our street periodically that were never there before, And I can't help but to think, did I just open myself up to more people coming down our street or our neighborhood? It's my fault. I've let our address show in the videos. I've tried to cut it out, but it's impossible. Well, moving forward, I'm going to try to be a lot more careful with all that stuff. And I'm going to, license plates I don't care about, because in California you can't run the license plates unless you're a cop. So I'm not as worried about that. My license plate's to the public every single day I drive on the road, so it is what it is. But I've even thought about covering those up. But I'm only 66,000 subscribers, but I had 500,000 views last month and the month before, and probably 300,000 or 400,000. So we're talking about every quarter we've got a million and a half people watch the channel. So a lot of negative things have come from being YouTuber. Now let's talk about the other stuff, which is what has happened, and my wife and I had this conversation just this last couple weeks, has been every decision that I make in my household to buy a car, not buy a car, has been heavily weighted with how is that going to work on YouTube? How is that going to affect my viewers? Is it going to drive a lot of hate? Is it going to drive a lot of drama to me? You know, I had a guy comment on my Instagram the other day, "You're rich." Like, no, I'm not rich. I don't have a yacht. I do well. But rich, you know what makes me rich? That my wife still loves me. She still wants to be with me. That my daughter and wife are both healthy. That we have enough money to pay our bills. That we get to enjoy our life and do things. But rich, nah, I'm not a multi-millionaire, and I'm not a billionaire. We like to spend our money on cars. That's what we do. We don't travel. You never see me going, come with us on a European vacation and spend it. My friend spent $20,000 on his trip to Europe. I'm like, nope, I'd put that down on a car. I'd buy another car. But my wife and I were talking that every decision, especially in this last couple of years, has been, well, how's that going to affect YouTube? Well, I buy a cop car. Well, maybe that's going to drive more views, and plus it'll be fun to have. Well, that thing was a huge flop, even though I'm glad I bought it. I'm not going to lose anything on it. It's been a blast, but that thing will be gone probably this week. And it's been up for sale, and I've got 35 messages I still have to go through, and I'm sure one of them are going to buy the car. And we need to cut back on these cars because, frankly, it doesn't make sense. I've got all these cars, yet the most viewed videos are the ones where I'm sitting in this thing talking to you all. The least viewed videos have been the Demon or my Lamborghini stuff. Nobody watches that stuff. So I'm not doing Lamborghini videos here. New car, generally I get about a month of more views out of it, and then I'm stuck with the payment for 5 years or whenever until I sell the car, and now I don't get a lot of views. So what we decided in our house is I've got to stop. I've got to stop making our entire life about what's going to do good for YouTube. We go on vacation. Am I going to film? You know, should I bring my camera? What if I see some cars? What if this? I mean, on our last anniversary, she's like, leave the cameras at home. We're not filming any of this stuff. I'm like, cool. And then I started shooting B-roll when I was there because it's such a beautiful community, thinking I would tell you guys about the trip. And she's like, you're not filming. YouTube is not our life. You make X at your day job, and then you make about 2% of what you make at your day job on YouTube, and you put all this energy into YouTube. So she's right. I'm not going to buy cars that I think are going to drive views. And I've heard people say this, like Jaime Muscle. I want to shout out this guy. Please go check out his channel. Such a solid dude. Such just good, thoughtful content, and he puts his heart into it, and he's just a good dude. And every time I watch him, he says some really, really smart things, and I'm not even sure he knows how thoughtful they are reaching people. I mean, I think people who need to hear what he says are definitely benefiting from it, but not enough people are watching his videos. And he always says straight up, he's like, I don't make enough money to buy these cars. I don't make enough money to do this, do that. And I'm like, I love this guy. He's just saying straight up, like, man, I can't keep up with all you guys. Meaning he's watching everybody else getting all these new cars, and he's going, I bought my 300C with the V8 in it, with the 392, and I can't get anybody else to watch my channel. And I'm like, I'm with you, brother. So what we're going to do moving forward, is I'm going to go back to my roots. I want to do the cool install stuff in my driveway. I want to talk a little bit about the dealers here and there when I know that there's something that can benefit you all. I want to talk about financial strategies. I want to help you make good decisions when it comes to buying one of these Dodge cars. But what's sad is if I do anything like this last video I just shot on lowering your car payments, I tried to figure out how to weave the word Dodge or Mopar into it, because then it would get more views. And bottom line is, it would help anyone who has bought a car, any kind of car this last few years. Yet because I couldn't weave, I put a Challenger on the thumbnail, but it barely got any views. I think it's 4,000 or 5,000 views or something like that. Maybe it'll make it to 6,000. I don't know. But that's a weak video generally compared to my other stuff where I'm just sitting in the car talking. Yet that video, I did probably 4 hours of research to dig all that information up and do that video to help people. And I've gotten tons of messages, but not a lot of views on it. So what I'm thinking is this channel needs to be based on YouTube's algorithm, and what my subscribers want to watch is heavily, it's only Mopar. Anything outside of Mopar, no one will watch it. And it's about the dealerships, about saving money. As far as me buying new cars and sharing those new cars, if it's not a Mopar, it's not going to be on this channel, because it's not worth putting a video up here that kills my views. And here's why that matters. And this is a long video, but here's why that matters. If I'm hitting 10 to 15,000 views every single video, and then boom, I bought a new Lamborghini video up, and 1,500 people watch it, and a sponsor that I would love to work with goes to review my channel, and there's 2 or 3 of my recent videos that are only showing 1,500 views, there's a 100% chance that sponsor lowballs me on what they're going to pay me. And I won't take it. You notice I don't have a full-time sponsor because I'm not taking lowball offers. I got offered, how about $150 to talk about our battery chargers? No, I love the battery chargers. I love the car battery jumper things. But $150? No, I don't need $150 to tie up one of my videos with you all thinking that I'm selling my soul for nickels and dimes. I want to get one strong, big sponsor that dramatically improves the revenue of the channel, that motivates me to continue to film, that is aligned with my principles and beliefs, and then I don't have to redo scripts every other video, and I can deliver great value to them. They deliver back value to me, and we all go. But if I've got a 1,500 view video and another 900 view video and then a 15,000 view video, I look extremely inconsistent, and the channel does not serve the purpose, at least one of the purposes, which is to drive some revenue. So I'm not going to put stuff up anymore, nor will I leave stuff up that just falls on its face. I'm going to keep trying to drive great content that's of value to you all. Informational, maybe some little mod stuff on my Scat Pack and things like that. So where does that take us moving forward? So I'm not shutting the channel down. I'm going to take a few weeks probably to retool and think this through, unless there's something comes up that I really want to share with you all. But I'm going to launch a new channel, a second channel. And a lot of you have suggested that I do this. And it's going to be called, and I took this idea from my friend Steve, who reminded me that Doug DeMuro's channel he created for secondary content is called More Doug DeMuro. And why not follow the godfather of automotive content? And I just did More OC Motivator. So here you get OC Motivator. At More OC Motivator, you're going to get More OC Motivator. But let me tell you what's going to be there. Before you run and subscribe, If you are the one that's head explodes every time I do a Lamborghini video, do not subscribe. If you are one that likes to be negative and trash and be critical about all of my content and just you know everything and you're going to just beat the daylights, don't go subscribe. If you are looking for fun, informational content, how to build a business, how to grow a business, how to get a job, how to interview for the job, how to create a resume that wins to executives like me, how to get promoted, how to ask for a raise, how to avoid getting laid off when there's economic downturns, how to become the most valuable employee at your job, how to start your own side business, how to start your own full business, what to do with your money, how to save money, how to shelter yourself from overpaying on taxes, motivational stuff, inspirational stuff, family stuff, day in the life stuff. I'll take you to work with me a few times here and there in a month, and I'll share with you all my other car stuff and new car deliveries and all that kinds of fun stuff. When it's not Mopar, and even if it is Mopar, it's going to be there. But my other car stuff's going to be there. It's going to be positive. It's going to be me tapping into a different algorithm, an algorithm that doesn't punish me for having a Lamborghini, doesn't punish me for just wanting to talk about great financial stuff, to tell stories that lead you into an outcome of success in your own life. That channel will do that. And that channel will not be monetized for probably a long time, because until it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, doesn't matter. It's not going to get monetized, which means I think there won't be any commercials unless YouTube sticks them in there anyways, but I don't think there's any commercials. So you'll be able to watch that stuff and enjoy it. And I don't know how often I'll be putting stuff up there, but it'll be in between these videos and as I have time, as we round out this next month of lots of craziness. So right now there's nothing there, but I'm going to try to get something up there this week. That way it at least has some content for you to start to consume. So go check it out. The link will be in the description below. Click on it, go subscribe, and heck, all I need is 1,000 people there, and we'll be on our way. But if 10 of you go there, you're going to get the inside track information. But again, if you don't want anything other than Mopar, if you're just Mopar, leave me alone, I don't want to hear about your Lamborghini, your lame-o, some guy calls it, I don't hear about your lame-o, you stay here. But just stay here. You're good. We'll do Mopar. I won't bother you with the other stuff. But if you're interested in the other stuff, which some of you have said you are, and you're interested in the drives and the rallies and the car shows and car meets, and I'll make sure I pepper motivation and everything in. It's basically going back to the roots of this channel without me getting trapped in an algorithm that will not let that content go any further than, a couple thousand people. Then go follow me at More OC Motivator, and I will absolutely deliver you some definitely different content, and we will have a lot of fun. And we'll still keep doing stuff here as I retool and I refigure out the direction. We're going to keep going, and I do still want to get to that 100,000 subscribers. That would be nice. So with that, everybody, sorry for the long video, but just wanted to give you the direction of this channel, where we're headed together, what we're going to be doing, and I hope it makes sense to all of you. I think that it'll improve my personal life and re-inspire me to put a lot of effort into some fun content that I know I'm going to enjoy doing, and while still delivering the same value that I've been trying to deliver to you all for the last 6 years. So with that, please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.